Hello, welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Please leave a 5-star review if you are having a good time listening to this. Today's the big day. Wow, March 15th. Today is the day my album drops on the Ides of March. You can get it on Amazon or iTunes right now. And look, it's already a bestseller. Holy cow. I can't believe it. And when they say, "Did you mean Christie Mayr?" just correct them and be like, "No, I know how to spell her name. Thanks very much." Yeah, you can see in my Amazon cart, I have hundreds of dollars of workout clothes that I'm going to not buy. I just look at them and then they need to go to the gym. Yeah, check it out. Buy it on iTunes, buy it on Amazon, listen to it. I'm so proud of this album. It's super fun. Can't wait for you guys to hear live from January 6th. Got a bunch of shows coming up. I'm going to go on the road this week. I'll be in North Carolina on the 17th in Raleigh doing good nights. And then I'll be heading to Savannah, Georgia on the 19th to headline at the Wormhole. Then I'm heading to Florida to headline Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida. That's their Wesley Chapel Theater location. They have 2 locations, so it's the other one. So yeah, and then Comedians of the Compound will be heading back to Atlantic City April 22nd and 23rd for Anthony Cumia's birthday show. That's going to be pretty much a blackout for everybody involved. Can't wait. Fun shows. For tickets, go to ChrissieMayr.com. For Compound Media tickets, go to CompoundComedy.com. And just a special shout out to everybody at Uncancelable Records for producing my album, and just everyone who's helped along the way. Governor's Comedy Club out on Long Island, of course. Frank Pellegrino, aka Filing Cabinet, the Produce Podcast, very helpful with this whole album. And now for a quick word from our sponsor. Ooh, cue that music. You know what that is? That's the sound of you getting rich off crypto. Guys, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto, but did you know that it's easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. Sounds like me. You simply just do what he does. So let me tell you a little bit more about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship, has over 15,000 subscribers and 1 million views. Since March of 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each one, you'd have over 66K right now. That's wild. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, is currently up around 440 times from when he started. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys and gals in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is all public knowledge. You can go check this out for yourself on YouTube. And if you'd like to join the 1,300 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Mayr. That's spelled Mayr. But you already know how to spell my last name at this point. You've been a fan for months. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners get full access for just $1. You won't find this offer anywhere else. And act fast, because this is a special New Year's offer. That's copymycrypto.com/MAYR. Check it out. He's the real deal. Yeah. Crypto. I still don't know that much about it, but I'm starting. Okay, guys, I'm so excited to have this guest back again. He was highly demanded by you, the viewer. Gosh, you may have seen him on TimCast IRL. You maybe follow him on MAYR'S. You may have listened to his musings on Graphene. He's back here today. Ian Crossland. Hello.
Hi, Chrissy.
I'm going to zoom you back.
All right.
You were too zoomed before.
I got a light switch up here. But other than that, the background looks incredible.
Yeah, this is great.
Crystal
Look at
ball?
that. Is that a globe behind you?
Yeah, it's pure crystal, quartz crystal.
No way.
Yeah, it's massive, 9.8 inches in diameter.
I mean, I'm no size queen, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, I am a size queen, and it fits. It's perfect.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm into crystals, but I don't lead with that, especially like not on a first date. Like, it's one of those things that when a girl starts talking about, a guy starts to immediately check out and think that you're dumb.
Unless it's the right guy. What is your big like crystal thing? What do you like the most about them?
Well, you know what I've been doing lately is like I carry certain ones when I travel to like for I guess kind of protection. The more I talk about this, the gayer I sound. Like I have a malachite stone that I keep in my pocket when I'm on planes and just like driving around. And then I think it's a black bracelet. I think it's gosh, I can't remember the stone now.
There's the
But I
onyx, obsidian.
obsidian, I think.
Obsidian is actually not a crystal; it's a glass.
Oh shit.
And it's glass because it cools down so fast. The stuff that crystal tends to cool down slower, so it's able to form into the crystalline structure. This is a lion's
Ooh.
eye crystal.
Yeah, tiger's eye. I've heard of that.
Tiger's eye, not lion's eye.
I'm gonna do solo layout. Look at
Look at this.
that. That's beautiful.
Man, hard to pass up on these things.
Wow.
And what I like the most is that I think about sympathetic vibrations, how like a crystal on one end of the room will start to vibrate, and then the crystal on the other end of the room will start to vibrate. And they seem to be connected somehow. And our bones
You live in an
made of
earthquake
crystal.
zone?
No, I did in California for a while. I've just heard, I've read about it. The sympathetic, I don't know if it's actually called sympathetic vibration or what, but thinking that
good.
our bones are made of this hydroxyapatite crystalline structure, I wonder if that we're vibrating alongside these I don't know, these, not that the rocks are living or anything, but they, when you zoom out far enough, they seem to be moving as a unit. What is that?
This is my selenite. Well, this is I guess the charging bowl. Like this is the thing. I put a bunch in here and I leave it in the windowsill, and it's like charges them all up. Like they say, you can bury the crystals as well, or you can I don't know, put them in water. Some people, there's all different methods for like clearing or cleansing your crystals. So I just kind of like having them in this little container. And selenite on its own, I think, is pretty good for healing, clarity.
I gotta look into it. I was listening to Dr. Zach Bush on, I think it was maybe Aubrey Marcus's podcast, and they were talking about water and the power of water and how it's so unique as an element. How we say it's H2O, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, but it's really 1 oxygen and 1 hydrogen. But the hydrogens are moving past it so fast that it looks like there's 2, but it's constant motion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really. It was a very interesting podcast.
It's like, what do we even know about the things around us? Oh, yeah, and this is fluorite. Because they say, I wonder if this is like a grift, but whenever I'm in a crystal store, they like, you have to buy whatever you're gravitating towards. Like whatever's pulling you in.
I got the same thing.
Look at that.
Fluorite.
Yeah, rainbow fluorite.
I thought this was labradorite. I could be wrong.
Labradorite is gray. Is like basically like a gray green. I have a labradorite ring, and this one is for creativity.
I love this thing,
I don't know why
I poke myself with it.
Yeah.
Got that sharp, and I put it on my third eye and like poke the third eye with it.
If you're really into it, you can like lay down and put the correlating crystals like on each of your chakras if you want to open one up.
Have you done that before?
I haven't. I mean, I've gone to Reiki, and she did a little bit of that, but I haven't had a whole like lay down.
I had this one girl I was dating at one point, and she took these bowls, these crystal bowls, and would set them all around me and then start running this like vibration tool. Like, I don't know, it was like a mortar and pestle.
Like a bowl.
Yeah. Start to ring.
Yeah.
I can feel it vibrating my head. She put one on like
sound therapy.
Yeah. Oh, highly recommend.
There are certain vibrations or like megahertzes that actually help your body heal. Then there are certain ones that actually cause your body to stress out.
And I wonder if the crystal vibration is causing the bones to vibrate too, which is causing some sort of healing vibration.
Yeah.
I wonder, or if it could be induced. I don't know if it's just a natural state of healing or what.
Vibration is healing.
It was like 432 hertz. That's the key of A.
Yep, you're right. 432 hertz of music.
Is it repair DNA? I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking of.
Do you have some damaged DNA laying around?
Yeah, let's test it out. I got like 90% junk DNA. What's all that junk DNA?
You just like,
I want to find out.
Lay your penis down. Fix it.
Yeah.
Get back. The idea.
Get back to work.
That you're hitting it so hard. And
you know what's going on in there. Tell me.
My dick is damaged.
Yes. You're an animal. You're not an animal. You're more than an animal.
I don't think it's all bullshit. I think whatever helps you. And what if it is all psychosomatic? It still helps you at the end of the day. you know?
Yeah, the placebo effect is underrated in science. People don't really understand it's effective. They see like a 30% effectivity from placebo, but no one really knows why. And then I'm all into like The Secret, where like if you believe it's real, then it
Me
becomes more real.
too. You can
Yeah.
tell that you're a secret guy by looking at your Twitter timeline. But I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's all interrelated. I think like religion, The Secret, manifesting, like it all ties together. Like I just
Yeah.
love this what you said, giving people hope is underrated because that's a form of manifesting.
Oh yeah. Winston Churchill, man, big inspiration. Definitely. He was a bit of a warmonger, but when it came down to wartime, he knew how to keep people's hopes up. Really inspirational.
I thought this one was really interesting. Is chaos sentient? In a way, I believe that chaos is the devil. Its unpredictable nature makes balance impossible or very challenging. Is chaos the aftermath uh, of the result of your actions and intentions? Or is chaos an organism of mass formation psychosis that can be predicted? I bet a lot of chaos in our society is manipulated, manifested, created purposely.
I get that too. I think about like layering, zooming out. Like I was talking about rocks and are rocks alive? Well, if you zoom out far enough, like they kind of looks like it's moving like an organism. I think that chaos and chaotic behavior, if you zoom out away from it, starts to look orderly. And to us up close, it feels like, why did that happen? Why is this? But when you zoom out, you can see like, oh, the reason people aren't having babies is because there's too many people, maybe, or something like that. I mean, I want to have babies, but I think
I
the
don't
reason.
think there's too many people. I think that's a psyop.
Yeah, it's just that they're in the wrong places. Too many people in cities, I think is what it came down to.
Yeah. Oh,
Stacked on
for
top of
sure.
each other.
If you live in a city, yeah, you'll be absolutely convinced there's too many people and you shouldn't reproduce. I think like I forget whose feed I was looking at, and it might have been Chris Williamson, and he was talking about like he was in the Austin, I think it was a South by Southwest, and there was just this protest like these women with signs that saying like don't have kids, don't reproduce, like it's not about you, don't be selfish. And it's like these women are never happy. They're never
Jeez.
like
I would imagine having a kid's about the kid, not about the mother. I mean, at some point it's about the mother, and then it's kind of no longer about you. Is that the point of having kids?
That is the point. I think the point of having kids is like it shakes you out of your own bullshit. Like it's the perfect reason to rise to the occasion.
Every moment, forever. After, yeah, what an
It's
intense
never
change.
about you ever again.
Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
That's where I get the idea of chaos in Dungeons and Dragons. When you're making a character that you're going to play as, it's awesome. It's like acting. If you ever have friends that want to do it, it's really fun. You get to pick if they're lawful or if they're chaotic or if they're neutral, and then you can pick if they're good or if they're evil.
That's where those memes come from. The chaotic, neutral. Okay,
Yeah.
positive, negative.
So in that description or metaphor, evil is not chaos. You can be chaotic good, or you can be lawful evil. Like you can use the law for evil, and you can be just totally ignore the law for good, like Robin Hood or something. So I don't think chaos is. I was wondering, is chaos the devil? Like but then you think evil is the devil, and chaos isn't inherently evil. And people were like, without chaos, you can't grow. Like there's no like chaos needs to find a new path of least resistance.
Is chaos essentially entropy? Well, I don't know. Or is chaos like the cleanser that a society needs to find order again? Whether it's the government or the state that creates the order out of the chaos, or it's up to the individual. Like now we have to rise above and find our own order, take it for ourselves.
That makes sense. I think a lot about that plant that you see, like just the city is just decimated to the ground and it's just rubble. And then you start to see a plant grow up out of the rubble. You're like, wow, that's chaos.
You're like, that plant has big dick energy.
Yeah. That plant wants to fuck. And that plant's gonna get what that plant wants.
That plant is a grower and a shower.
Both death. Yes. The plant read the was it the manual?
The manual. Oh, right. What do people say? Understood the assignment. I hate that phrase.
I got an A+.
I feel like that's not a phrase that white people can say.
Oh, I never heard that one before.
Oh, like so and so understood the assignment, and it's always a picture of Lizzo like looking fucking disgusting. Like that's the meme I usually see.
It's a very submissive, yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting. So Ian, my gosh, you guys have been swatted. I mean, being swatted once is too many, but now what is it up to? Like 3 times?
No, 6, I think total.
What?
To our location, 3. There were other locations that got it. Yeah, as a kid, I didn't know much about the difference of swatting and like ordering a fake pizza to someone's house. I just thought like, ha ha ha, they're gonna get a knock on the door and they're gonna be scared, and then I got them. Or I
How
never
many
did it to
pizzas?
anyone.
How many pizzas have you guys been getting?
Yeah, a couple. I think we got one
Okay, all
time, and it
right.
like had a note on it. We were like, well, all right, it's not
That's
random.
not sus at all.
Yeah, it was really weird. I think I might have ate the pizza though. But it's not. Working with Luke, Luke Rudkowski on the show on IRL from time to time, he really was very clear about the dangers of swatting, and I never really put that into perspective. Like with an animal in the house, the animal's at risk. The cop is on guard. The cop thinks maybe someone's going to shoot him when they walk in. Just so dangerous.
You
And I
could
hope
easily
kids
just
know that.
see something moving out of the corner of your eye. Yeah, I mean, not like you guys have kids running around there, but you could.
We
I
could,
mean,
and
it's a
employees have
family
kids.
environment.
Yeah.
There's animals. There's
people bring their kids to work. People
Yeah.
bring their kids to this business. It's been happened in the past. Really, really nuts.
Oof.
I want to stay positive about it all.
Stay positive about it.
Yeah, whatever. Cops are, and the upside is that once it happens once, the cops are now ready and they know, like, hey, just so you know, this place might get swatted. So it's like in the records and stuff.
If I'm a cop and I've been to a place like more than twice, I'd be like, oh, okay, somebody must have it out for these people. Like if each time they come and nothing is happening, in a sense, isn't that good in a way? Because then the cops know, all right, this is
except that like a Chicken Little situation where if a criminal really wanted to hurt someone and they could call in fake crimes multiple times so the cops stop coming and then they commit the crime and the cops don't come. So we want them always to show up. It's just such a put out for the cops.
At this point, do you just like make extra coffee for them?
Like, that's what we talk about. Bring pizza. Let's get healthy food, some snacks, packaged food, so they don't have to wonder if we poison. It's not trying to hurt anybody or anything.
Does it? How do you know when it's happening? Like now it's happened enough times and you're like,
we usually get a message. Lydia will be like, "Oh, we got swatted again." And we're like, how annoying.
We got swatted again. 6 more weeks of winter.
Yes. Yeah, the cop saw his shadow, came in anyway.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as concerned about it as other people. I don't know why.
Okay.
It feels like
no, it's because it never happens.
Like
because we have most people have no idea what that's about, and it's from the outside perspective. It seems very scary, and it just seems like wow, someone's got to really hate to keep. It seems seems like a lot. It's not more than the usual YouTube comments. You suck, or
I don't know YouTube what happens when they go to like if a cop gets a SWAT call to like a Paramount Pictures studio, where like a walled compound where they can't get in, then they must get there and be like, there's nothing we can do about it. But I guess it gets to a point where you're like a walled compound and you just know law enforcement in the area.
Right. What if you have like your own, I guess, private land with fences around it and they can't just roll up?
Yeah. It's important. It's interesting. I was in Hollywood for a few years and like driving past Paramount and Warner Brothers and all these studios thinking like, and seeing the giant walls and like all you do is they're big city blocks and you just drive around the block and it's all walled.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is why they had to wall it off, because people would just walk up and like knock on the door and want to see the celebrity or whoever.
Demand to be hired. Be like, you gotta put me in your background.
Yeah. So they needed armed guards and gates and walls and stuff just for acting, just for making movies.
Ian, are you finding that other channels are becoming prey to copycat situations like this? Obviously, TimCast is a very high-profile show, but are you hearing anything that smaller shows like Blaze type shows, anyone else that's pushing free speech and anti, establishment type of thing? Are you hearing anything like that?
Like, have they been swatted?
Yeah. Have you heard of other copycat situations like
that?
No,
actually, no. No, thank God, no. But that's just something that concerns me too. Is every time if it happens and then we talk about it publicly, that a copycat criminal will be like, "Oh, that's something I can do." Okay. Oh, that'll get Tim to talk about what I did. Now I'm important and relevant. Okay, and so, but no, I haven't seen any, fortunately.
Would you advise other channels to kind of be proactive and kind of alert local municipalities like, hey, just so you know, this is a thing that's starting. This is where I live. If you hear of anything or get any calls, please just be aware that this might be a not false flag, but like, God, it's not even a prank.
I think Frank is worried that I'm going to get swatted.
Yeah, I am.
Plan for the future. It is definitely worth it. Any kind of internet video maker, YouTuber, anything like that that's remotely well known should contact their local law enforcement and be like, by the way, I do a show from these hours. Because if you get swatted while you're on camera and you're the only one in the house, you got to get up and walk away and talk to the cops. It ends the show, basically.
Who's going to read the super chats?
Yeah, really. We were lucky that we had a crew like at the house to take care of all that. Otherwise, who basically would have had to stop in the middle of the show. And that's also part of it is they want to disrupt the show. I think can be part of the intention. So you don't want to give them what they want as little as possible.
Do you think it's related to like particular guests, or do you think it's random?
It's probably related. If I had to guess, I would say it's related. It's tough to say though. Once I get to that point, I don't like to speculate. If it was war, if we were in war and I had to make a split-second decision, I would say, yeah, it's probably related. Let's use our best knowledge to make a hard decision, but I don't know. It's tough to tell. But yeah. I mean, it was like Marjorie Taylor Greene came on the show. She's a politician, so someone's probably like, I didn't like that girl. I saw her in the news.
Yeah, it's basically like it's next level, like the annoying college kids that keep like a Ben Shapiro or an Ann Coulter from speaking at their school. This is basically like the next level of that. Like, I can't physically be there, so
yeah. I thought that it was the point was you find people you didn't like or disagree with and have a conversation with them. Like growing up, I was like Hitler would have been the best person to debate because it's like I disagree with what let's talk about it. Let's show the world our sides of view so that they can decide. Where's that gone?
Rogan would have had Hitler on a bunch of times by now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. That's the next meme.
And then
Rogan would have platformed Hitler.
Spotify would be like, you know what? You can keep all the episodes with the comedians, but you got to take the ones down of Hitler.
Yeah, except for Tim Dillon too. You got to take down. He's too smart. He knows too much.
Tim is great.
I love him.
Oh boy. Couple of soups. Thank you, Nico Cone, for the super sticker. Nico Cone asks, Ian, rumor has it Lydia is leaving IRL? Is this true?
I have not heard that rumor.
Maybe I think you might be the only one with that rumor, Nico.
Did you make that up, Nico? Maybe like leaving for the weekend or something?
R. James, Ian, how'd you meet Beanie Boy?
We did Minds. I co-founded Minds.com, the social network. And Bill, who's the CEO, started sponsoring Tim's videos probably like 2017 at some point. And so we went to Tim was doing a speech down, like talking down in New York. We went down and all hung out. That was the first day I met him.
What was your first impression of him?
Really normal. I think I first saw his work on YouTube, and I was like, wow, he's going through what I went through in 2009. He's basically getting red pilled in real time and losing his fucking mind. Wow. I know what that's like. And you go haywire really quick if you don't know people that can relate. So I was like, I got to help this guy. Also, he was funny, and like we were both like, hey, the reality might be a simulation. Like this might be an MMO. And he was like, yeah, I think this is an MMO.
What's an MMO?
A massive multiplayer online game.
Oh, that's a nerd term. Okay.
Like World of Warcraft. Like we're all in these bodies that are like avatars, and we're controlling them. And like some people are NPCs. They're just phoning it in, repeating their day, and then some people are aware of what's going on. They're the player characters, the PCs.
Like Peter Ducey is a PC.
Is he? I don't know. Is he's aware, Peter Ducey? I don't know anything about him.
He's the reporter that I always hear about. It seems like he's the only one challenging Saki.
Yeah, he's
asking
aware.
her hard questions.
Yeah,
and weirdly, like they let him ask questions still. I can't believe they're like still letting this guy in.
Yeah, it's great. They're like, we need one.
You could be the one.
He's willing to ask the questions that we won't answer, so let's have him.
But his family's been in news for like ever.
Okay.
So maybe he was just grandfathered in.
Yeah, I think people can become NPCs or PCs at will. Like your mind can shift, and all of a sudden you go into like NPC mode where like, what did I even do yesterday? What was I doing when I was sitting there stuffing my face, watching that thing for 4 hours? I barely remember. But then you snap into PC mode and you're like, reality is fucking crazy. What is happening? Oh, these people looking at their phones.
There's so much temptation to snap into an NPC. Like I feel like when I sleep in later than I should, that I'm an NPC. It's like, what are you doing right now? What could you have done with that hour, 2 hours?
That's big. Motivation's huge. I don't know if it can be taught. Were you taught motivation growing up?
There was a lot of shame growing up. It was, I think as a child, I my biggest sense of accomplishment and validation came from sports. So that was like inherently, it's a ranking. It's like your first, second, third, fourth. It's like a positive side to the never feeling good enough, right? And then so yeah, I just felt like that was my way to get attention. Like just be the best, and then like everything will work out. But I feel like when I talk about my childhood, like I didn't have a rough childhood. Never like went to bed hungry. Like wore my sister's hand-me-downs. Big deal. My brother and I fought. I mean, I pushed my sister down a flight of stairs once.
A bigger or younger sister?
She's older. I was younger and angsty.
Dude, was she messing with your stuff? Or not letting
Well,
you
we
play?
lived in the same room. Like, what did they expect was going to happen? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to wear your clothes. I don't have any money.
What was the age discrepancy between you guys?
She's 2.5 years older.
Oh, that's similar with my brother.
Yeah. Did you guys share a room?
Yeah, we did. He's a year and a half, like 2 years younger.
Okay.
You sleep on the bottom bunk. I got the top bunk.
So you were older and you got the top bunk. Usually it's the older one gets the bottom bunk.
I would have liked it. Maybe they thought he would roll off. I don't know.
Okay.
I was real scared when they removed that gate from the side of the bunk.
Wait, you can remove the wall, like the bunk bed?
There's
wall?
a gate. Yeah, there's like a modular gate that you can put on for little kids so they don't fall. And then I took it off one day and I was like, "You're a big boy now." And I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna fall to my death."
Time to test your
Never
sleep
happened.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever fall out of the bed while you were sleeping?
Never.
That happened to me once. I hit my head on the table. That was about it.
You fell from the top bunk?
No, it was the bottom bunk that time.
Oh, right.
Oddly.
Dang. No,
I
I'm a
was
very
safe enough.
still sleeper. Like I get in and I'm like a corpse. I just like I don't really move. And if I do move, I don't take up like I could sleep half in a full bed and be totally fine.
Oh, wow, nice. Do you do that thing where you twitch, where your whole body like twitches right before you fall asleep?
I used to, like when I would have like nightmares, like after my mom died, I'd have like a lot of random like twitchy times, but usually no, I'm pretty still.
I kind of enjoyed that. It's like the big release. Like all the muscles tense at once and then it's super relaxed.
Well, you don't like to, if there's someone next to you, you don't want to like kick them.
I know. One time I kicked the wall and shattered my toenail.
Oh no.
That was a wake up call.
Wow, you're like a dangerous sleeper.
Yeah, watch out.
You need like
toenails are like daggers too.
Because men don't take care of their feet.
Well, that's not totally wrong. I don't know why. What I do is I don't clip my nails until one breaks.
And then you peel it off, right?
Until someone says something about it. No, I clip them with
until
clippers.
They're poking through your socks.
Yeah. And if someone's like, "Hey, that's kind of gross," then I'll be like, "Yeah, you're right," and I'll clip it.
The booth boys at Compound Media, I don't know if this is just what they do on Mondays. I always hear the clipper going on Mondays. And I'm like, you guys have no time that you have to clip your nails at work. I just hear click, click, that click. I only hear it at Compound and then I hear it on the subway. It's the only two places I hear that nail clipper go.
Does it bother you?
The noise? Yes. Because I go, oh, where are the nails flying off to? Like,
and you can hear the bacteria on the nail.
And I'm not even a germaphobe. I don't care about all that. I'm like, there's gonna be nails flying.
Yeah, because they do fly sometimes. Like one could fly off and hit someone, and you never know. It's like spittle.
Yeah, it is like.
You can't really determine where it's going to end up.
Ian, you have a link in your Twitter profile right now about iron fertilization.
Yes.
And I clicked on it and I read it and I still don't know.
Oh my gosh,
what it's about.
It basically, you take iron oxide dust and then put it in ocean water, and it causes plankton to bloom. Like plankton eats it, which are these microorganisms in the ocean. And then when the plankton blooms, well, let me back it up. I think it actually induces the algae to bloom, the iron, and then the algae is what the plankton starts to eat.
So you're creating more plant life in the ocean.
Yeah, it's actually plankton's technically animal life. Yeah, you create more plant life with the algae. And you get these algae blooms. What the misnomer is, people think that this is a way to pull carbon dioxide out of the air. It's really not. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about reblooming the animal life in the ocean and the plant life. So once you get this plankton bloom, you get all these fish start to repopulate, and you get massive blooms. Like they've experimented with it and had massive salmon blooms, like Northwest United States area. A guy did it, but from what I was reading about it, it's tough because like to get for regulations, like if you're in like national waters, you got to be careful about putting stuff in the ocean.
Okay.
So it hasn't, as
like
far as I
dead
know.
bodies and hookers.
Yeah, you got to tone back on the corpses
Yeah,
in national waters. I think once you get out to international waters,
you're good.
maybe with the corpses. I don't know about the iron. I don't know what happens at that level. But my God, I mean, this is it. This is
the cure.
This is step one. If people want to like refocus on how to heal the planet, I think this is step one. There are a lot of steps at once, but this is definitely a big one.
What led up to us needing this as a possible solution?
Overeating the fish, basically, I think. And also
Overfishing?
poisoning the plastic in the ocean has poisoned a lot of the algae and disrupted algae blooms. We can do with the coral. I've also figured out that you can shatter like coral reefs that are dying. You can shatter coral into little bits and then set them all near each other underwater.
Make jewelry out of them? No.
Well, it all starts to grow together and then they all start to reform. So you take this hunk of coral and you shatter it, and then it all grows together and reforms the reef.
Like a reverse starfish. No.
I think maybe like it's forming into the starfish shape from the outside, from the tips in.
So you take the coral, it's all the same coral, and you smash it up, and then you just realign it how you want and where you want, and it'll fuse back together.
Yeah, they all grow individually. So I think there's a lot of hope for fixing the planet. Also in South America, there's this thing, or not South America, in Antarctica, there's this place called I think it's called the River of Blood. And it's just like this river pouring red water out into the ocean. And it turns out it's iron. It's like iron rich water. So it looks like the earth is naturally feeding itself, naturally fertilizing itself.
Is this river, is it like that only once a month?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a perma river. It's really cool to see. This also makes me think that terraforming Mars is going to be way easier than people think, because all that iron oxide dust on the surface is basically ready to be melted. It's basically a layer of red dust, of iron dust, on top of ice. So if we melt the ice, the iron dust is going to go into the water and create plankton or create like algae.
So it's algae and plankton first and then soil? Or you think you start with the oceans?
I'd start with the oceans, yeah.
Right, because then the thing, you need something to crawl out of it. And that's how humanity starts. Yeah,
I was wondering about if we got pulled out of the ocean by the moon. You know how the moon used to be so low to the earth? It used to be like cause like 1,800-foot tidal waves. It would come across.
Oh wow!
It would it was like an oval around the earth in the early days, and it would cause these giant tidal waves. And I wonder
back when the earth was flat.
Before it got round, before it rounded out. It's before it became an oblique spheroid.
Yeah.
We got like yanked out of the water by the gravity of the moon. Like we got pulled out.
Wow.
I don't know. The moon is without the moon, I don't know if any of this could have been possible.
Where would we be?
Just still in the ocean, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be a mermaid, I hope, by now.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like singing. Do they sing underwater, or they have to climb above the surface to sing?
It depends. Yeah. I would think that your songs could be heard under the water.
Like dolphin style?
Yeah. Sean Anderson, I purchased your album this morning, Chrissy. It's great. Oh, thanks, Sean.
Nice.
Thank you for listening. R. James, Ian and certain guests equals only reason to watch TimCast.
James made a statement.
Yeah. Wow. What guests have you liked recently?
Daniel Turner. I like them all, man. It's nice to see people that I've watched from a distance and never met before, like Thomas Massey or Steve Bannon, people that I like have just seen in the distance, and I meet them and I'm like, okay, they're who they say they are. They're real people. They're normal. And they know a lot of stuff. James Lindsay.
Oh gosh, he's so smart.
I love him. And he's funny as hell. He's so funny. Majid Nawaz is like one of the most important humans on earth. The guy he's been through such hell and has such a clear mind. And like,
that's how you say his name?
Majid. I asked him either
I've
one.
I've been saying Majid Nawad this whole time.
Oh yeah. Nawaz, I think it's Majid. No relation to magic. I asked him.
Wow, I haven't watched him on IRL yet, but I finally like finished his whole Rogan episode, and I think that's one of the most, like, most people don't watch a whole Rogan, but it's, if you can, and I'm sure he went over many of the same points on your show too. Just such an important listen, like really, really takes you through the mindset of somebody who's like actively trying to get out of like sort of brainwashing, and the fact that he was so demonized like really followed him.
Yes. Redemption is such important. That's something I didn't get a chance to talk to him on the show last time is when a criminal or some sort of violator does something, how long do they have to carry the stigma of that thing they did, whether it's a crime or not, if it's morally abhorrent. For him, like as a terrorist, how long are you going to be like, that guy is still a terrorist, even though it was 30 years ago that he did his last thing and he's like works with children now. So he's not a terrorist anymore. Like, and I asked that about like a murderer. Oh, he killed a guy 40 years ago, but he's been like, now he's the president of the United States. He's like, I don't know if you can be a president with a felony, but like he's not a murderer and he hasn't murdered in 40 years, but they're like, so some people will argue once a murderer, always a murderer. And I'm like, I don't think so, man. We're talking about social media, getting banned off social media. Like, at what point do you kind of wash the slate clean? Or maybe it's not an all or none, but it happens slowly.
Yeah, our culture is weird in that way. Like, we love a comeback, but we also are hesitant to give someone a second chance.
Yeah,
depending on who they are. Like, if you're Britney, you get endless chances.
Yeah, Britney did nothing wrong.
But if you're Gavin McGinnis or Milo Yiannopoulos, you're going to be selling figurines on the Catholic channel.
Yes. Gavin's mustache is lit. He's got to lean into that thing.
Oh, yeah. Not everyone can grow a mustache like that.
I think does he sell mugs with the mustache on it in the glasses?
I don't know.
Such a great look.
If he doesn't, he should.
Yeah.
Lancer, chaos is not the devil. The devil has plans. Ooh, I thought you were going to say the devil wears Prada, which is also true.
Does chaos, that's what I'm wondering, is chaos planned from a distance? If you can zoom out, I wonder.
Because the powers that be know what's going to cause chaos. They've been around long enough and passed down their knowledge.
Yeah. If the artist, for instance, a painter, the paint brush and the easel and the painting don't know what's happening. They just feel brush strokes and they're like, what is all this madness? But the artist knows beforehand what it's going to become. I wonder if the universe thinks of that when they smash asteroids into planets and it's like, this is all part of the plan of creating.
This is color wars, baby.
Yeah. Get hot.
Yeah, we're simply the canvas and the brushes. Well, I don't know. I think probably like Justin Trudeau would be the brush. And the people of Canada would be the canvas.
You think of him as
who's holding the brush? Klaus Schwab is holding the brush.
I wonder if people lately have been like, he's the front man. Don't get too hung up on Klaus. There's people around him that are equally or more dangerous, like more psycho. I don't know. Yeah,
you get a lot of FaceTime for Klaus.
When Alex Jones, he came on our show at one point. It was either the first or the second time he came on, and he was like, this is what you got to know, Klaus Schwab and guy, fill in the blank guy. And he said the other guy's name. And I was just like, Klaus Schwab, who's Klaus Schwab? Let's talk about Klaus Schwab. And I went full Klaus Schwab, but he mentioned two people. And the other person he mentioned, it was like Klaus's partner, his number 2 guy or something.
Oh, do you remember his name?
No, I can't. I'll ask him. There's this guy, Yuval Harari, who works there, who seems pretty dangerous. He talks a lot about controlling people's brains and.
Oh, was that was the guy? Because I saw you had tweeted this JP Sears video.
Yes.
And yes. Okay. I thought his name was U-Haul. It's not.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong.
You're probably right. And
there's
I'm
a V in there.
That was a fascinating video. Oh my God. He was basically proving, and I like that. I like JP Sears' style. Like, he walks you through it and he makes you think. He makes it very easy for you to put it together. He's not telling you what to think.
Yeah.
He just sort of lays out the proof and what he sees and hears, and you go, oh, but they're not controlling our minds, are they? And then he'll play another clip of like showing that they're already able to do that. Like he pinpointed this guy. I guess if it's Schwab's right-hand man, like this scientist guy. Basically, we're gonna pinpoint it right at the pandemic was the time that we got under people's skin and could control them. Like, he basically said that, and I was like, what?
Dude, the COVID-19, The Great Reset was Klaus's book that came out like 2 months after, a month after COVID.
May, right? Was it May or was it June?
It was either May or March. Yeah, probably May then. May. So 4 months after.
Either he can write really fast.
Yeah.
Or he was writing it before it came out.
Or both.
Or both.
Or maybe both. Maybe he wrote it really fast before it came out. Dude,
Damn.
COVID's so gross. And I'm not talking about sickness. I'm talking about just what are humans doing? Anyway, maybe YouTube's not the best place to start peeing all over that narrative.
I wonder. I'm like, can we tippy toe around these things?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad it's
No?
toning
Okay.
down. I mean, I don't like that the spotlight moving from like pandemic to war. And it's like we have people need to be focused on some bad thing to get them all unified. I don't like that because I think we could talk about iron fertilization and creating
Right.
a better future.
A common theme is fear. Like I think the powers that be have learned, like, as long as the public, the masses, have something to be like really afraid of, we can control them easier.
I was like, aliens, is that the next false flag is going to be it? But it seems way too obvious. No one is going to believe that. But if they have talking plasma and they're like shining lasers into the atmosphere and all these like blobs are showing up on radar and they can make it look like an illusion, I wouldn't put it past them.
I think if the aliens come in a non-threatening form, like not something we've seen in the movies that's going to like attack us and kill us, if it's something like on the level of like, yeah, like a friendly snail or something, or just like something we can observe in a museum, something that's not like wild and going to come after us.
You think if they were real?
I think the way to present aliens to the public is right in a really like a low threat version.
Like they find living organisms, then a year later or 2 years later, they have the whole alien thing in the people's minds. People know it's real. What that means, they believe it. Then they can be like, our ship was attacked. Something went wrong on Mars. Lasers, we don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, whatever.
Something got out.
Yeah, it smells bad in here.
An alien germ got out by accident, of course. Not China's fault.
I am the science squared.
An alien
it's extra dimensional.
Our James. Oh, another question for Ian. Which IRL guests were pleasant surprises?
Michaela Peterson is brilliant. That dude is awesome. I love her. I knew she was cool.
Michaela, dude.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She is a dude. Yeah,
she's hilarious. I knew she was cool beforehand, but when I got to talk to her, I was like, wow, yeah, she's just really on the level, real legitimate, really aware.
Mm-hmm.
And young, as average ages go, relatively young for
wise beyond her years.
Yeah. Jordan and Tammy did a really good job.
But you wouldn't expect, you know what I mean? If Michaela Peterson turned out to be like a TikTok thought, you'd be like, oh man, what happened? Like, of course she's going to be great and smart.
Yeah. And that's good to see someone like Jordan just pour information and knowledge into his kid and for the kid to turn out awesome. It's like, good. I can be like Jordan. Like Jordan is a good role model. The proof is in the pudding. It
would be bad for the brand if Michaela turned out to be a crackhead.
Yeah.
Turned artist.
A rock star. I could probably get behind rock star. It's funny how like a crackhead artist is just kind of a laughingstock until they become a rock star. Then you're like, well, then it's fine that they're a crackhead.
The president's kid.
Yeah. He's a businessman.
Yeah. Yeah. Michaela's awesome.
Michaela was great. I was just racking my brain for any other people, but that was the first thing that came to my mind.
What is the process for like, do they ask you guys like, oh, we're thinking of XYZ people. What do you guys think of them? Or are you surprised, like you don't know who it is till they show up?
I don't normally. I don't ask on purpose. I try to not to interact with the guests before the show starts. Before they're down in the green room, I want it to be like for them just to relax and not to be overloaded with meeting all the people. I never ask, and no one ever tells me unless it's like, yo, next week Thomas Massey's like someone really, really popular. Tim might tell me ahead of time because he's excited about it. But usually I like to meet people kind of as humans without knowing anything about them. So I can kind of get the real feel.
That's nice. Do you ever feel like, oh God, that's sometimes something I feel is like, oh God, this feeling of like, I didn't research this person enough, or I wish I could have known more in advance, but you just embrace the first impression, basically.
Yeah. I did get that feeling with Majid Nawaz when he was on the show a couple weeks ago, because I only watched the first 40 minutes of his Rogan interview, and it was before they talked about the Great Reset. It was just he was talking about his past, and I wished that I'd seen the whole interview so that I could have picked up where they left off and carried the conversation as like part 2. But instead I had to like rehash probably stuff they'd already talked about or didn't touch on things that they had mentioned that would have been interesting. there's definite value to researching people beforehand, but I don't want to get stuck in what I think they are. I'd rather get to know them as they are.
And think about just how many people are misunderstood per the internet. Like how many things out there. Like if you would Google like Lauren Southern, or right, like the example of Gavin McInnes, you'd be like, oh man, this horrible guy. And then you have your preconceived notions before you meet the person. Maybe it is better to just go blank slate.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene for sure, because I saw like her on the news and they were like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's messing it up again. And I'm like, wow, she's an idiot in Congress. How did we get an idiot in Congress? That sucks. And then I met her and I was like, oh, she's not an idiot. She's just challenging the status quo. She's making them go to work and vote when they're just trying to phone it in or trying to abstain and making people record their votes. So she's a thorn. She's definitely smart. And she reminds me of like one of my mom's friends growing up. Like she'd be over at the house, but she's more my age. Just like she's at the age that my mom was when I was young. So it reminds me of like the neighborhood moms.
Yeah, she does have like a soccer mom vibe.
Yeah.
It's gotta be the blonde.
To do a picnic on the weekend. Yeah, in the backyard.
Do you find like when these higher profile guests come on the show, like do you kind of observe them getting more comfortable? Are there some that seem like tight and restrained and definitely won't go into certain topics? Do you feel like it's a goal of the show to help like warm these people up and get an interesting nugget out of them or a secret or something?
Yeah, often they'll say beforehand if there's something they don't want to talk about, people will say it beforehand, or we don't normally ask. So, but what'll happen is if someone's really nervous, whoever they are, super famous or not at all, it doesn't really matter. People are kind of the same every time. They'll look at me and they'll say something and then they'll start to laugh, like kind of nervous laugh, and I'll stay real calm. I studied George Washington's etiquette. George Washington studied like 18. George Washington used to be obsessed with etiquette books. He'd read like, I think there were 18 different etiquette books, some exorbitant amount of books he would read on etiquette. And one of them was you leave your eyebrows balanced. You don't raise your eyebrows when you talk or listen. You keep them stable. So I was like, all right, I'm going to train my body to do that. So they'll be talking to me and they'll be laughing and you can sense their nervous energy. I'll stay real calm and listen and make eye contact with stable eyebrows. And then they stop laughing. And then it's like, we're best friends.
Wow.
They're super calm.
I don't think many people know this eyebrow trick, Ian.
George Washington. I should read more of these etiquette books of his because the dude seemed to have it together.
So it's like calm eyebrows, calm mind.
Yeah, that's what it's all. Yes.
You should go to like maternity wards and hospitals and just go from room to room with your flat eyebrows and just calm down like women.
That's such a good idea.
I'm sure you don't have extra time, but
did you see? Yeah, that'd be. I should start a career. Did you ever see the Stan Lee Superhumans?
No.
Show? It's a show. Stan Lee's the guy, the Marvel comic inventor. He invented like the Hulk and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. But he did a show before he died 5 or 6 years ago, or 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Stan Lee's Superhumans. So he got this guy, this contortionist, to go around and interview these superhumans on Earth that have these abilities. One of the guys had this ability with his chi to put animals to sleep. He'll walk up to like a pen of bison and he'll just start moving his hand and like going like this, and all the animals go to bed.
Wow.
One by one, they lay down and go to sleep. I don't know. Or you're talking about calming people down with my eyebrows. Yeah, this guy has this like calming, soothing chi energy.
Have you seen Encanto?
No.
It's like one of the kids in the house can talk to animals, but I don't think he uses that skill to calm any of them down.
Do they talk to him too?
They talk to him. It's like he has a whole other language going on. It's like when I go to the nail salon and the Korean ladies are talking shit about me and like they all understand each other and I'm just like, I guess I'll do red again.
Do you make eye contact with them when they do that?
Well, not as much anymore because like I find when you go to the same one over and over again, like the shit talking stops. Especially if you tip decently.
Oh, okay. What are they like? Her hands are too big. Look at her face. Like, what do they say?
I wish I could know. Yeah, I wish I had like
a Google Shazam app or something.
Yeah, Shazam, like Google Translate, and just press record like while they're talking.
Yeah, like around your neck, so it's it's kind of obvious.
Oh my God. Yeah, I made a scene. Well, I was part of a scene Christmas Eve in the nail salon. There was a Karen who screamed at me and my boyfriend's mom because we weren't wearing masks. It was a whole scene. Like she got in our faces. I had to educate you. Why do I have to educate everybody? I had to educate this whole nail salon. And like the nail ladies didn't care. They're just like, again, we're kind of regulars. And they're like, a lot of these businesses are just doing the bare minimum. They just want to keep their doors open. And so clearly like they weren't like put one on, and the lady like demanded it, and then she moved far away from us, and then she left, and we said Merry Christmas, Karen, and that was probably the thing. She didn't like that. She came over like this far from my face, screaming at me, then leaves, then brings her big black husband in to also yell at me with his mask on. I have to educate you. We're 2 years into this thing. Da, da, da. Like, I was like, wow, how insecure are you that you have to involve your husband in your nail salon fight?
It's really weird. The appeal to authority, the
Yeah.
desperation is.
And she was so upset that the nail salon people were not like more angry with me, that you know it was what you're saying. Like the nail people were not, I guess, like disciplining me enough to her liking, so she had to get her husband involved.
Man, humans are interesting animal. I spend a lot of time around like the person, but then I forget that the animal, the wild thing, comes out sometimes.
Right. It's like a fear response. It's I have to just like, I'm not taking it personally. I'm like, she is the result of whatever psychosis, of whatever brainwashing she's been under for 2+ years. So, and then I was like, I ultimately feel bad for this person.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, compassion is the way forward. A lot of people are going to be like slowly coming out of that craze.
I mean, if I was really compassionate, I wouldn't have said Merry Christmas, Karen.
Yeah, just Merry Christmas.
But I had to.
Do you think she would have got aggro if you just said Merry Christmas?
Probably not as much, because everybody was like saying Merry Christmas when she left.
Oh,
and I was like,
funny.
Karen.
Why do you think that name, Karen, was just like a name that a bunch of it was just like in the white community that they named in like the 80s, and now all these women are like 38 and ate too much plastic in their water or something?
It was one of the most popular names when I was growing up.
Karen.
Yeah.
It's a really nice name. Yeah. It's like carrot.
Karen.
Yeah. But more like like pink. More
Peas
pink.
and Karens.
Yeah. Yeah. Edible.
Because it sounds like a cunty person's name.
Oh yeah, it kind of sounds like cunt.
But that could have been anything.
Karen.
Like, don't be such a Darla.
Oh,
don't be such a Chrissy. No, that would never worked.
Vanessa's too many syllables.
Yeah, Vanessa definitely came from money.
Karen's like bop bop.
Karen takes care of business. She is running HR. Seth Thoreau, Cajun Classic Rocks and Minerals on Facebook. I don't know what that's about.
Classic Rocks and Minerals. Cool.
Yeah, I have books on rocks.
Dude, they're amazing.
John Doe, both of you, what are your hair care routines?
Well, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, it could be more involved. I mean, there's getting it like, I used to be a blonde, which is way more maintenance. I'd have to get it dyed just about like every month, but now I can stretch it to like a couple. Like on the outside, maybe like 3 if I'm really like lax. And then I use like a color safe shampoo, conditioner. I should really be doing leave-ins, but I just like never make the time. And then when I come out and my hair's wet, I spray in like a leave-in conditioner just so I can brush through it, because it's like very curly and like just like matted together when I come out of the shower. So like I spray that just so I can comb through it. And then I'll do it starts with a K, Kerast, I think it's called. A couple of splooshes of that and like run it through the ends. If I want to do it curly, I'll do like a texture spray and a mousse maybe. But if I want to try to blow it out, I won't put those things in. I'll just.
Do you do that every day?
No, I wash my hair like twice a week.
Okay, that's similar for me. It's different in the desert, I've noticed. So, like in the desert, it dries out way quicker. So I don't even use a towel. I just let it air dry, which is, I think, the abrasion of a towel can do damage to the hair.
I have a special like towel. Like, and you're not supposed to rub it because that disturbs the texture. You're supposed to like squeeze it.
Yes.
Towel.
I'll do like, I have baby shampoo. I get like the most infant stuff for infants that I can find, and then I use that. I think it's stem cells maybe. And I
really?
Yeah. This one might be. I was using a stem cell shampoo for a while. This one that I have now is like, I got to look at it if it has stem cells in it or not. But it's the kind of stuff that's like non-irritant. I have a conditioner I don't really use like once every week or every couple of weeks. But it's more about the air dry. Like I hit it with cold water before I get out of the shower. I
Yep,
do
that's good for curls, hitting it with
yeah,
cold because that
hot.
seals the hair follicle.
Yep, and the oil on the hair, it'll kind of like solidify the oil. If you do hot water for too long, I think when they say male pattern baldness is hereditary, I think what's happening is it might be genetic, but additionally the parent is teaching the kid what temperature to shower at, and they're doing it at a really hot temperature that's destroying the hair follicles.
Yeah.
So the kid is burning their follicles out when they're 12 without realizing it. So I started doing like lukewarm water on the scalp, or really hot. I'll run my head under it really fast to avoid singeing.
I always knew hot water in your hair was bad.
Yeah, it's bad on the roots. You can kind of do it just on the hair to get the oils and dirt out, but not for more than like 15 seconds. It starts to strip. I think after that, that's mine. I think that's my whole policy. Oh, and I'll do this a lot with it and like pull off. Like I bet there's a piece. Yeah, here's some hair. That
I think you're supposed to lose like 15 strands a day.
Okay. The problem, I don't know if you get this, when I lean back and then I put my head forward, it pulls down.
Oh, yeah.
How do you live like with long hair, as a long hair?
It's very long now. It's like on the longer, if I took it out, it's probably down to here. But I'm putting it up more now. And I used to go to a stylist lady who would cut more layers into my hair. And she was like, a fancy Brooklyn stylist, and now I just see one in Westchester, and she doesn't really do all that layering. So I feel like when my hair grows, like when it gets longer, it just like gets Hermione Granger. It can get like big, so I'm putting it up more now.
Are you in New York?
Yeah, yeah.
What was the last thing you were saying?
New York. I just put my hair up more now, but I'm starting to feel like I'm getting either like sick of it, like I need to do a slightly different color or slightly different cut.
I was in New York City. I lived in New York off and on over the last couple of decades, and I was in Brooklyn, the Crown Heights, and I lived there for a while. And I went to the barber shop, and I was like, "Hey, I got to get a haircut." And the guy was like, "Okay, what do you want?" And I was like, "I want to get it cut short." And he was like, "Okay, low. You want it low?" I was like, "Yeah." Okay. So I sat down, and he's busy, and he buzzed my head. I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought it was just gonna like cut it short, which I've always had. When I'm like, "Can I get a short haircut?" When I asked. But I guess Brooklyn barbers are like, no, you said low, bro. And so he's like, Zat. And I was like, well, we've already started. So he shaved it all, buzzed it.
No.
But it was weird. It was the only time in my life I've ever had a buzzed head. But I could do yoga way easier because when I'm rolling around on the ground, it's not pulling on my hair.
Yeah.
When I tie it up, it's still it helps. But if I go upside down, it like pushes the bump of the hair into my head. So it's kind of that was the upside, was I could roll around.
Like if you do handstands, you got to make sure if you have a ponytail, it's like a low pony and not one like a bun or something up top.
You've been in full on workout like the last 3 months.
Yes.
What's it like?
I started up again, I guess like end of probably beginning of February. And it hasn't even been that long, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep posting about it because it motivates me to keep going. And I already feel like my body like is snapping back. It feels like, like embarrassing to be feeling out of shape, knowing that you were like a Division I college athlete. So I just was like, I think I was like busy and lockdowny, and I was like, okay, I have to cut the shit. Like no more excuses. Like I know what style of workout works for me, which is I go to a place and they yell at me for an hour and then I leave and tell me what to do.
That's a workout in and of itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking the pain. Yeah.
I need like structure. I need like someone to challenge me. I can't just like show up to a Planet Fitness and like.
Do you have a coach, like a personal?
No,
trainer?
I mean, like I do the F45 classes, which it's like, if you remember curves from back in the day, it was like stations and like, but that was for fatties. And this is more like, it's for like, I don't know, men and women, I guess in their 30s and 40s. And they push you really hard. It's just basically circuit training, and you do like as heavy a weight as you want. Like kind of, sometimes it's high reps to burn it out, but you use body weight, you use kettlebells, barbells, pull-ups, like you sometimes do like box jumps.
The box jumps are
fun.
Cool. Those are good videos. Those are fun to watch. Is it the kind of thing where they're training you specifically for a body that used to be really good shape that's now slightly out, as opposed to someone that was never in shape to begin with?
There's a lot of chicks in there that look like they were never in shape. No, not to body shame. But yeah, and then there's a lot of women, trying to get their groove back after a divorce or a kid coming out. But yeah.
Do you mix it up with like diet? You edit your diet
I
at all?
did start doing keto also.
Oh, how's it been?
And I backslid a little bit when I went to Texas last week because I just like didn't come full of snacks, and I just would be at the Blaze studio all day, and I would just have to like break it and eat something that was there because I just like didn't have any food.
I found the most ultimate keto snack was dark cacao, pure cacao, the powder.
Ooh, you're just
or
eating
just
powder?
the bar, like a scoop of it would be the bar. I'd get like a cacao, dark 100% cacao with coconut butter.
Ooh.
Not the oil, but the butter, coconut butter. It's fucking incredible. One of the most ultimate foods on earth.
Coconut butter?
Yes. One scoop will change your life. And it's the first
This
scoop
is not
is like
coconut oil.
no,
This is
it's
butter.
it's the butter, it's the husk, the inner husk, like the meat mixed with the oil. And like this buttery thing.
And
you mix that with
cacao
cacao
powder.
Yeah, or just dark cacao bars. So be a piece of cacao, a hunk of coconut butter, and almonds mixed together. And then I would do something sometimes where I like melt the cacao and the coconut butter, and then dip a banana in the melted chocolate, and like a cold banana that had been in the fridge, and the chocolate harden all over the banana.
Whoa!
And the banana's not really keto because it does have sugar in it,
right?
But it's just the cacao, coconut butter, and almonds will throw you into keto hard.
Ooh,
If you
okay.
eat that for like 6 hours and that's all you eat one day,
I wonder how much time it takes your body to be like, all right, we're not going to get any bread. Let's get to work on this muffin top.
Right. Like the first time, I don't know. I don't remember that.
There's strips that you can pee on that will tell you, but I don't have those.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Like wallpaper, like removable wallpaper.
From George Habib, Ian, the arguments you have with Tim are a signature of the show. Does it ever get super heated? Do you guys make up after or argue BTS too? Team Ian.
We argue a little bit behind the scenes, but not normally. I think for the show it works because each of us are able to kind of say extreme things, and then the other one will push back. So as long as there's pushback, you can talk about COVID and like crazy stuff, as long as you're willing to, if someone makes a claim or like election fraud, things like, if someone makes a claim for you to be like, that's actually not evidence, and you push back on claims, YouTube is okay with it. Although in the beginning it was kind of like, I felt like I think I might have mentioned this before to you. Maybe I've mentioned this in the past, that we were jamming, like we were in a band and we were in band practice jamming, and both of us would take turns being the loudest and like taking the lead. But Tim was like, no, it's too chaotic. Think of it more as an orchestra. I'm the conductor. And I was like, yeah, I'll be like the first trumpet. So I only play when needed now. It's a lot less confrontational, more about the guest.
Okay. And you feel like that helps?
Yeah. And when it does get super heated, it's only in that moment on the show. Tim's like one of my best friends. I love the guy. And I'm on that. I personally went to join that show for a specific purpose, which is to deliver some crazy information that might be hard for people to hear. So
is it about graphene?
Graphene, consciousness, communication, love, it's all fucking technology of all kinds. You want to talk about like iron fertilization or like cometary impacts, Atlantis, psychic energy, this stuff that
crystals,
DMT, crystals, psychedelics in general, psychoactive, and go. No one would watch if it wasn't someone like Tim to argue like, hey, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Come back to earth. Like, I need that for the sake of delivering it, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Like he's the mold that you pour the batter into.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Like it has to take a shape.
Yeah.
And sometimes explaining it to somebody else who's not going to yes you on everything is a way for you to relearn your own points.
Big time. Yeah. Tim is grounded on earth. He hasn't done like psychedelics like I have in his life. So he's more like, yo, if the proof is here, I'll look at it. But if this is just ideas you're having, then let's leave it there. Yeah.
I think that's good. The ability to argue is really important, because I think some people just think an argument means, like it's conflict. Conflict is bad. You got to shy away from it. You'd be like, okay, you're right. And then maybe that's just a female thing.
You're right. In debates, they call them argument. Like an argument is a specific type of debate. A specific thing in a debate you can do is argue a point. And I think I'd have to look up the exact definition, but there's nothing to do with hostility. Arguing a point is just a specific way of debating it.
Okay. Anna, that Star Wars girl, wants to know if you like candy corn.
No, not anymore. I used to as a kid.
What happened?
Fiend on that shit. I learned about food coloring.
Oh, okay.
When I was like 27, I overdosed on sugar. I got a couple bags of maybe it was 28 Kit Kats and those Easter egg candies, chocolate Easter eggs. And I
Ooh.
ate them all the bag of Easter eggs about this big and the big bag of Kit Kats. And I broke out in this open sore on like where my liver is on my skin, like a
Wait,
herpes.
inside your body or outside?
No, on the outside, the skin, it like broke open into like a rash. I was like, this is so
Whoa.
disgusting. And this is from the sugar. I'm done. And I went in full health consciousness. I was like,
inflammation. Yeah.
2 choices in life. I can live as an inflamed mess, or I can start focusing on food and health. So I chose to do it. And then I started learning about food coloring and all the candies and like confectionery stuff. So I avoid candy corn basically now. The first year I went back after I had that epiphany to my parents' house, they were like, "You have gone full psycho, bro. Like, chill out." I'm like, "Get all the dairy out of your fridge."
I guess you don't want this Easter basket? Yeah.
Yeah. I want a watermelon for my birthday. Literally, that's what I got. I don't want a cake. I want a watermelon.
You're like, I want coconut butter with cacao powder.
Yes. It is so good.
When I was doing the South Beach diet, that was the big treat. It was actually ricotta cheese with cocoa powder. Like we'd mix it together, and I called it chocolate cheese.
Whoa, that sounds good. Did you
was-
see in Germany they were snorting cacao powder?
No.
It's apparently a party drug.
Wow, those are my people.
Dude, and it gives you energy, like massive amounts of energy, they say. I don't know.
How do you think the Keebler elves get so much done?
Dude, psychedelic mushrooms. Did you
snorting cocoa?
Have you looked into the there's a super chat coming up. I'll talk about the Siberian shaman.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get back to it though. Nico, Coney, Ian, Tim's ex staff spew so much hate and fake info on Twitter intentionally, knowing it will draw out nut jobs. Even old friends are falling for it. Sucks.
Yeah, when you're in the situation, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like a performer and you're creating stuff online and other people start to talk about you, you get to a point where it's really good and smart to kind of like maintain your own path and not get too distracted by what's going on around you. It's important to like kind of watch and be aware of what's around you and understand it, but it's not take it personally because you know everyone's going through their thing. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a lot of hate towards you specifically?
No, it feels compared to 2007 when I was doing this, it feels a lot more love. In 06, 07, it was people were hearing this stuff for the first time. Maybe I was talking about the same shit I'm talking about now, but it was more like, who is this whack off idiot, this wannabe? Who does he think he is?
This baby shampooer.
Yeah. What he doesn't really believe in crystals. But now it feels like people are embracing these ideas, this new age stuff. It's like, well, maybe it's out of desperation. It's like, hey, the oil economy is not working anymore and we need something. Or maybe it's just real.
Humans, I think, are so out of touch with their own like bodies and souls and spirituality. It's kind of just like you've gone so far, something snaps you back into yourself.
I wonder about pain. Like, how much pain am I in right now and I don't realize it? Am I living in pain?
You mean body pain?
Yeah, like jaw pain, neck pain, back
when you
pain.
wake up, what hurts?
Nothing. Not that I mean, if it hurts, I'm desensitized to it. I think I need dental work, so that's like a constant amount of soreness. But I wonder. I have never done like a parasite cleanse. I hear those are like people have thousands of parasites and don't know it.
True. I used to do cleanses. Or no, what were they called? Colonics? Yeah, they'll say, oh, you got like 5 pounds of stored crap inside you. And it's like, are you just saying that because you are a colonics salesman? Or, is this true? But I used to go regularly. I haven't gone in a while. There would always be like some Groupon. And now looking back, I'd be like, wow, I'd be doing Groupon colonics. Like you just show up, like whoever's offering you $25, $50.
It's bonding.
Random tube.
So is it awesome?
Yeah, it's scary, but it is awesome because you're like, you see stuff going. And you're like, well, that's better out than in.
And it's like hair and plastic and shit.
No, you don't see any of that. It's just like brown water.
That sounds
they
really
fill
awesome.
Your body with
You're
water.
Speaking my love
like
language.
Saline, whatever, and then it drains out.
Love water.
It's fucking gross.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I took Frank once.
Twice.
Actually, this was when we were
We
first
did it
dating.
twice.
Frank's like, I will never forget the second one.
Didn't you like it a little bit?
The first one, yeah, you could see the stuff coming out of you, and I definitely felt a little lighter. But the second one, it was a fucking weird experience, and I don't remember why. and I almost felt like remember the weird Asian foot thing you'd get?
Yeah, you put your like your feet in
It's
like
like
a
a
basin,
scam.
and then it's supposed to draw out the
Oh.
toxins, and whatever color the water is, that's what you were purging.
I've heard that those things are a scam. That they actually
Yeah,
they rust the metal heads that are in the water, and that's what you're seeing is rust. Could be wrong.
If that's true, that really sucks. I mean, I haven't done one since Frank put that in my mind. Like it could be fake. And I'm like,
Oh, it would be so good if it was real. Pulling heavy
Yeah.
metals out of your feet.
And remember, I used to put those foot pads, Frank, on the bottom of my feet. You go to sleep with them, and then you wake up, and you're
the
like,
dirt is
oh.
literally in the pad, and the
Oh.
moisture from your foot literally makes the pad transparent, so it looks like toxins came from your foot, but it's really just the dirt that's hidden inside
How
the
do you
pad.
put it? You just think these are all Asian body scams?
Asian body scams, man. We gotta debunk all of them this year.
AsianBodyScams.com.
I'm gonna buy that website.
What was it? We just started talking about this. Because the colonic. So is the
Yeah.
first one like? I imagine the first one's like, let's get 18 years of crap out of you, and then after that, you're just like kind of scratching. It's like let's get the
Maintenance.
last couple weeks out of you. Yeah.
You
Was that what it was like?
I used to go a lot more with like my mom. My mom, and my sister would go, and you go for like you go like maybe like I don't know. She would go like once a week for every like 4 weeks in a row or something like that. You just like keep going. I don't know, but like we
So,
were
like,
really
work
into
it out
health
of-
stuff.
Okay. So the kind of thing where like slowly work it out of them over time every week.
I think so. I think like one session is not enough because you take a few passes. Also, if you're like a very uptight person, like it's like mental too, like the letting go.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
I think it's worth
relaxation.
trying. Why not? You know?
Yeah, we're only human. I think about there's a lot of things like that. I'm like lately, like I kind of want to go to Mont Saint Michel in France. May as well.
What's
I'm
that
Ian
place
Crossland.
about?
It's an abbey that used to be like the centralization of a duchy. It was his castle, some duke's castle, and it's in northern France, kind of in the ocean. When the water rises, it turns it into an island when the tide's in, and then when the tide goes out, you can drive out onto it, and it's super defensible. It's like a city, like a little monastery city that you can stay. There's like hotels in it and stuff. Yeah, that's freaking cool.
The Blank Podcast with Ian Slater. Roll some 20s, people. Catch y'all on the replay.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to make a roll here. All my dice are upstairs. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got a D100.
Okay. Is your headrest turned around backwards?
Oh, thanks for reminding me. You know what was happening? Like I said, I'd put my hair back and then I'd lean forward like this, and it would pull. It would pull the hair down.
Oh no!
And then cause it to fall out, which is really annoying. So I had it up like this because
there you go.
I just bounce. There's nothing to yank, but it's not comfortable.
Ian, you're the type of person I feel like you could set up a Rube Goldberg machine that would take up like your whole house. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe from you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to get like tubes where you can slide down from upstairs into my room and like climb up a rope ladder to get to the attic.
like your money at the bank just being sucked up in a tube.
Yeah, what is that? Okay, I'm gonna roll the D100. I got a 15.
Oh, is that your dice?
Yeah, this is a 100-sided die.
Whoa.
They're heavy and they take a while to roll. That's what the 100.
And then what is the number tells you, like what kind of day you'll have?
Well, it's more like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they're like, whenever you play, you have a 20-sided die. This is 100, a 20-sided die. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna run and jump over that wall and attack the guy. They're like, well, you're gonna have to make a dexterity check to get over the wall, and then you roll your 20-sided die, and whatever it lands on, if it lands on a 2, you're like, that's not a very good roll. You trip and fall over the wall, and you land on the ground, hit your face. So like, But if you roll a 19, they're like, that's a great roll. You leap over the wall effortlessly and land on the guy's back.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, so there's that randomized, you never know if you're going to fail or succeed kind of thing.
It's like a
depending on
race.
If you make a character that's a really good jumper, then they get bonuses to whatever you roll. Like you roll a 5, but you'll add 10 to it, so you get a 15. They're like, that's a good. It's hard to get a bad roll in that case.
That sounds fun. Nico Coney didn't make up Reddit on a board. Okay.
This is regarding the earlier super chat.
Okay. R. James. Ian, do you invest in graphene stocks?
No, at this point I don't. I don't know who or where to invest in. There's a cool Canadian company. It's the biggest graphene facility on Earth. I think that's in like near Montreal or something. I was actually thinking about starting one. I think if I do end up investing in graphene, it's going to be my time, and it will be in the guise of starting a company and like a university. You ever watch? You know who Jacques Fresco is?
No.
He was doing this thing called the Venus Project, and he's like an architect, like a social engineer. Been working. He's dead now. He died like 5 years ago, and he had these idea of all these smart cities. This is like in the 80s and 70s and stuff, where like they're all around a centralized computer.
So Epcot Center, or like Walt Disney City idea.
Yeah, they kind of look like that. And I always thought he was kind of just a pie in the sky, not a fraudster, but like, yeah, that's a great idea in a different reality where humans are all like off of oil and everything like that. But his idea of every city as a university was very interesting, because as I'm thinking about starting graphene companies or a graphene company, I want to build universities where you can learn how to make graphene and study graphene and work with graphene with lasers and things like that, flash graphene, turbostratic graphene, graphene supercapacitors. And then if we can, my original goal was to use tax funding to pay for it. And then everyone that pays tax, that their taxes go to this university, can go to the university once in their life to spend 3 weeks. And then all the materials that the university produces, all the graphene, is free for all the citizens that have funded it with their taxes. So it'll just be like a social program.
Like a real community.
Yeah. Getting the government involved might not be the right move, though. It might just have to be private.
Ian, do you remember the scene from Forrest Gump where Bubba is talking about all the different things he wants to make out of shrimp?
Shrimp
like
taco,
shrimp scampi, shrimp pasta. That's you when you're talking about graphene.
Graphene oxide, graphene supercapacitors. We'll be making space elevator tethers out of graphene, collecting
graphene
lightning
bracelets.
out of graphene. Yeah, you got your graphene cermets, gonna handle high heat. Got your graphene cermets, gonna handle low heat. A 0 degree Kelvin graphene, supercapacitive graphene.
Okay, are we ready for possibly a negative comment?
Yeah.
Okay. From Oceana23, Ian, take an improv comedy class and learn the meaning of the phrase yes and. It will help immensely on TimCast. Halting and derailing convos hurts.
You are right. And I did take an improv class. I used to study improv in college from my freshman and sophomore.
Where'd you go?
Kent State University, Northeast Ohio. And we had an improv group called Ball of Ham that I was involved in, which was extremely fun. Where like we do freeze, where like two people would be doing the scene and then you'd be like, freeze. And then you get up and tap someone and they'd sit down and you'd take their role. And it'd be a new scene. Like your shovel would be a rifle and you'd be running. Come on, let's go. And all sorts of him. I mean, you name it. We'd stand in a circle and you're like zip, zap, zup. You ever do that?
Zap,
zip, zap, zup. So
classic like, improv.
I aim at you and I go zip, and then you have to look at someone and go zap, and then they got to look at someone and go zup. Yeah. All that. And then like staring in someone's eyes like a scene partner, that helps you calm down and get comfortable just being with
keep your eyelids flat.
Yes. Yep. Stabilize. Read a lot of George Washington. Okay, but I like that criticism is actually kind of interesting, because maybe I could utilize that a little more. I actually went crazy in college and was like, our improv class was kind of like a safe space. The idea that you could be weird and be nuts and it was fine. And you could be as weird
of that.
Yeah. And I got to this point where I was like, no, it's not enough about safe spaces. We need to push the art and be creative. And they're like, Ian, this is about like everyone getting it. And I was like, my ego just went crazy. So I left the band,
because you wanted to push it as hard as it could go instead of everybody just having fun with it. Like not everyone was on your level.
Yeah, I got too serious. I was like in a different plane of existence at that point.
That happens. Brewmaster Monk, Ian, look into biofuel made from algae.
Oh my gosh! The first time I smoked DMT, I was in a room with this dude that was growing his own algae in tanks behind him, and it was like these big, tall, transparent tubes of green liquid bubbling algae behind him, like, and I'm like seeing the gravity. I smoked the DMT and it wasn't a huge hit. It was a small hit, enough to like feel it and experience it without going blasting off. And I saw the dude just getting sucked down. Like he was just sitting there, but I could see gravity at work for the first time in my life. I've never noticed it. And I could see everyone around me. Everyone's getting sucked down. Like right now we're getting sucked down, but we're desensitized to it. So we think it looks normal.
Wow.
But man, gravity is yanking us, and it is like a normal part. DMT is like, it's a space drug. It's meant to be smoked in orbit, like in low gravity, I think.
Ooh, okay. So this is why we should all be hanging upside down every now and then.
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
Do you have an inversion table?
I have. Okay, this is my my pandemic fitness purchase. I got okay, and they're not sponsoring me, so I won't mention the brand, but it actually looks like a squatty potty, but it's not. You put your head and shoulders in it and you flip up into a headstand, and it just looks like a little footstool basically with a hole that goes, and then the pad goes around your shoulders, and then I mean, I love doing handstands anyway. So it's just when I need to collect my thoughts or calm down or I feel like chaotic, I just go into a headstand.
Excuse me. So your shoulders rest on it?
Yeah.
And so it's less stress on your neck?
You're only like a foot off the ground, really.
So your head's not actually touching the ground?
No.
Oh.
It's like a four-legged thing.
And you can see out of it, so you're not like...
Yeah, it's not enclosed at all. Cool. It's not like you're putting your head in a box.
That'd be good for me. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
too.
and it's like it wasn't crazy expensive. It's pretty stable. Or you could just sit on it when you're watching TV too.
Oh, masterpiece. I'm gonna order one now.
But yeah, it's good to be upside down.
What's that thing called? I wanna buy one.
Okay.
I'm just
should I reveal the name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, shout them out and I'll
it's called Feet Up.
Beautiful.
Feet and then up. And then
Good
I got
shout out. I'm definitely gonna buy one of those.
And I got it in white.
Okay. That'll be good because then I can use it as a chair in my room for guests as well.
Yeah, it's a little chair. I think I got it from Amazon.
Dude, have you done the inversion table?
I've been on one.
Feet Up is $130. I'm looking at it right now. It looks like it shouldn't cost more than 15.
It's just like 6 pieces of wood hammered together.
Yeah,
I know. It's shocking. Like,
Chrissy, pull it up. Just Google Feet Up. Jesus.
Okay. Yes, I know. I paid for it. I know how much it is.
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, good for you. But
good thing we don't share a bank account. Okay.
I know.
I got this thing for my mom where you put your hand in like melted wax. These machines.
Paraffin?
Yeah, paraffin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I haven't used it yet, but apparently you put your elbows in it and the wax is really good. I'm going to use it in the next few weeks. I'm going over their house.
Okay, so here I did get it from Amazon. Yeah, here's the Feet Up. All right, here you can get one.
Oh, beautiful.
For $92, and this is like I guess it's not the Feet Up brand.
I like that there's 2 levels on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what happens down here. Maybe put your hands on that. Because your head is like
your elbows.
here. Your shoulders are on this thing.
So your arms on the ground. I get it.
You either put your arms on the ground, or I would put my hands I would sort of balance them up and put my hands on this thing, the rest.
Inversion is underrated.
It's very stable. It's a stable little thing.
I'm very happy that you told me about these. Did you ever do like Reiki or body work or anything?
I love Reiki.
I used to do that for a living. I actually do Reiki to people. I got like one of those Reiki chairs. That was pretty rewarding.
Ooh, Reiki. Just do it.
Yes, just flow it.
Wade Mikunda. Ian, thoughts on Earth as a living being itself?
That's what I mentioned earlier, that rocks might be, I don't know if alive is the right word, because, living is a specific definition.
They have energy for sure.
Yeah, and movement. It moves, like it's flowing. It's kind of like a fluid. And I think if you zoom out far enough, it will start to be like pulsing. Like it's not stable. It's like globular and kind of moving, like the sun. When you look at the sun through one of those telescopes at the observatory that blocks out the harsh light, you can see it's just like kind of like a water balloon. Whether it's alive, I don't know, man. What is consciousness? What is living? It's magnetic for sure, and so are we. In that sense, we're connected to it magnetically. But I don't think it's living. I don't think the living is the right word. There's a lot of living things in it, and part of it. Although that's what our bodies are, is a bunch of living organisms, bacteria, parameciums. So, and then we call ourselves like a solid living organism, even though we're a combination of trillions of living organisms.
Parts. Yeah.
I think viruses are considered alive. I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah.
So maybe the Earth is a living organism. That's a wild concept. And
it doesn't even have a Twitter account. Wow.
Dude, you live in Crossland, England?
Wow. Maverick. I live in Ian's ancestors' town of Crossland, England. Where's that on the map?
I thought it was with 1 S, but I guess not. If you live there, you know better than I do.
2 S's.
Yeah. 2 S, Crossland. And I think what happened is that people were crucified there.
Uh-oh.
All the crosses would be set up and they'd all be hanging.
Right.
I think. At first, I thought it meant like a traveler, like they crossed land to get somewhere. But then I read about it, and they're like, no, this is where the cross was. They used the crosses to, like, Golgotha.
Wow, that's pretty
execution
cool.
grounds.
Do you have any curiosity about doing like a 23andMe?
Yeah, a little bit, but not enough to do it.
Yeah.
Like if I could get if someone could scan my forehead and be like, here's your data, I'd do that. I don't feel like drawing blood and mailing it to a corporation yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why.
I
What
want to
about
keep my
you?
fluids to myself and loved
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
spit on who I want to spit on. Thank you.
Yeah. You're going to have to pay me.
Yeah, honey, I'm living my life.
Honey.
Have you done it before?
No. It's
Oh.
always for that reason of like, who knows what they're going to do with it?
What do you think? What do you think you are?
Well, my dad is from Germany. He came over when he was very little. I know that my mother's side is Norwegian. And then like my grandfather, my mother's side, bits of English. And then I know that my dad's mother was Austrian. So that mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder how. I would love to know if I'm Neanderthal, and I think I might be part Neanderthal.
What makes you think that?
My big forehead.
You
my
love
grandma,
meat?
and I'm obsessed with red blood meat. Yeah, I got bloodlust. I have to tone down my blood. Have you noticed that bloodlust? I think people get it when they eat blood, when they eat meat, and they're like, they start to fiend for it, and they're like kind of out of their mind.
I just thought it meant you had an iron deficiency.
Oh, I don't know, maybe. But my grandma they always said the Crosslands had high foreheads, and I wonder if that goes back to the Neanderthal.
Ooh.
I hope so.
You hope you were from like the OG humans?
It'd be so awesome. Yeah.
Do your knuckles drag on the floor ever?
Yeah, if I can. Yeah. If I walk low. That's about that.
Sterling, Sapien order out of chaos. That's the plan. Yep.
And then we're like a boundary condition that witnesses the transformation into what we call order. Because even order to a smaller organism would look chaotic.
Right. I think just trying to be as much of a conscious participant in as much of your life as you can, and really try to avoid the things that make you want to like, don't check out every time things get hard. And there's so many ways to check out now in society. There's so many vices, and it's like all allowed. It's all like, oh, you're a victim, you're an addict, it's like, I don't know. I think it's always good to keep a voice in your head that's telling you to suck it up and get over it and keep working.
Mm-hmm. Whenever things get too good, I remind myself that other people need this stuff too. The technology and food and love that I'm experiencing, it's got to be, I need to bring this to other people. I can't rest on it and be like, finally, I got it. Yay, I beat the game. Because that's when the asteroid comes, when it's like, you lost your humility and now we're going to start over.
Oh, okay. It's all up to you, Ian.
Okay. Thanks, Chrissy. I'll do what I can.
Ian, ask Lydia to get Ted Nugent on IRL.
I believe he's been pinged as a guest. I don't know what her status is, but I'll mention it to her again. I would love to have him on.
Ooh, Dr. Savage. To Ian, taking a life is permanent even if it's just once. So you're permanently a murderer? What? Actually murdering though makes you a serial killer? That's how it all works out. Stay savage, guys. Is this some sort of an inside joke?
Stay savage. No, I think he's saying that once you take a life, and because it's a permanent thing that you did, that you're permanently a murderer, considered wise. But It's like saying if you take someone's bread and eat it, that you're a thief forever because they can never get that bread back. I don't know about that. I understand murder is such a grievous act. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the concept of like forgiveness.
Okay. Stay Balanced says, Ian, is it wrong to murder a child? Okay, this sounds like the same thing.
It's a weird question. That people ask me about right and wrong. I find that stuff to be like morally subjective.
This sounds like people, I don't know. Do they feel like you have certain thoughts on abortion? Is that what this is coming from?
I don't know. But I would say murdering a child is wrong. But in war, if there's someone, enemy combatants in a building where there's a bunch of civilians, including children, and the enemy combatants are firing at you from that building, you level the building to the ground, regardless of if there's children in there or not. But it's not considered murder. It's just considered killing because it's wartime.
Because it's not personal.
Yeah, so they say. But yeah.
Dark Horizons. It's Ian. Surprised he's even awake this early.
Yeah, me too.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Gee, Ian, rolling 20s.
Hell yes.
Oh, that's from your dice, right?
Yeah, I got the 100-sided die. I'm trying to bring hundreds back, but I think roll of 20 is just such a
Isn't
popular.
it hard to tell what number it's rolled?
Yeah, you got to look close.
Too
And
many
it
sides.
rolls. They're so round that they keep rolling and rolling. So you got to kind of roll them slow.
K-Mac says, Ian's impression when Rugged Man lost his head. Did you feel you were trying to make cooler heads prevail?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I at first, I was just sitting there calm because I knew nothing was going to happen. Like, there's awesome dudes and they were just kind of like working it out. And I think Tim and RA were like kind of communicating in a way I didn't understand. Just something like they're both I know Tim's from like South Side Chicago. I'm from like the suburbs of Akron. Like, the worst thing that ever happened to me was I think I got my hand smacked once, pretty much.
You're playing the hand smacking game.
Yeah. I was like, ow, it was too hard. So I just thought I'll chill and let them work it out. If they came to blows, I would have stood up and grabbed the dude's neck and choked him out. I mean, I would have done something to protect someone if I had to. I was ready to like take action, but I was like, all right, shut the show off. At one point, I'm like, all right, that's it. Call it. Shut it off.
Wow.
And that was when everyone kind of stopped and calmed down. But I was like done at that point. I'm like, dude, you're going to get up and bang my fucking microphone on the wall. Get out of my house. I don't care who you are. Don't come in here and destroy my property. But Tim's much more forgiving.
He banged the microphone on the wall. I saw he pushed it away.
He smacked it and like it banged into something like a cup or something. It could have damaged the microphone. That for me was crossing the line. But
these
Tim's
aren't
more
cheap
about
microphones.
The show must go on. You know, Tim's a hero. I'm glad it went on too, because we all calmed down and got to talk about it.
He must have felt embarrassed for losing his
cool.
Cool.
RA did for sure. He was like, dude, I'm so sorry. If you watch the rest of the episode, which you really should, he's like, man, when I was a kid, I had like anger issues. It's something I've been working on my life. And I did not mean for that. I'm so sorry. Like, he was really, really felt bad about it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I like that guy. He's awesome.
All right. Sweet. Stay balanced. Thanks for the soup. Brittany Venti's boobs. How's life? Chrissy, been a minute. All right. Good. Boobs are checking in.
Chrissie Mayr's boobs.
Yeah, they have like too many followers.
Oh, that's awesome.
R. James, the first viral Karen was probably named Karen. Oh, that would make sense.
Yes.
Nez Quick, Ian, are you or Tim sexier?
Depends on the time of day, the lighting. Probably Tim. He's been working out a lot lately.
Does working out make you sexier? That's the thing. I think sexiness is a state of mind. It's like what you exude. It's how you walk through life.
That's true. Healthiness probably passively is increasing it. I think it's not the working out that makes you attractive. It's like being healthy.
Working out can help you feel yourself more.
Yes.
Yeah, and start that process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. The answer was me.
The answer is Ian. I knew it. Matthew, I have to say how amazing this stand-up set is by Chrissie Mayr, live from January 6th. Oh, leave a 5-star review on the Amazon's MP3. Thanks, Matthew.
What inspired you to do the show on January 6th?
I was at January 6th, and I got a lot of shit from the New York City comedy community for being there. Like, a lot of people wanting to cancel me just for being there and recording the events and doing man on the street interviews and talking to people. Like, just basically like mainstream media brainwashed, like, just tagging the FBI on everything I do for like months and months. And, we should ban her from all the shows because she was there. People are so fucking stupid. And then I had wanted to do an album for a couple of years. I tried to do it once and my mom died and I scrapped the whole thing. And then I was getting hit up by one record label to do an album. And then my friend Aaron was like, hey, I'm starting a record label. Do it with me. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd so much rather do it with my buddy. And so he started Uncancelable Records. I'm like, okay, that's a perfect name. And it just was like, oh, when you want to do it? Oh, you want to do it on, I think it had to have been around maybe October or September when we booked the date. And then we're like, oh, let's do it January 6th. And I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was October and we're trying to come up with when is a good time. And I forget if it was me or Aaron that realized that January 6th was just a few months away. And that's how far out we were looking to do it. So it just kind of made sense. And then obviously Long Island, that's where you're from. So,
and it was on a Thursday. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's not like, you're not taking like a weekend date away from like a touring headliner that might have that booked out this far. It just really all came together amazingly because most comics, they do 2 show tapings and I just like did the one and
cool.
It went really well and not too many foibles there. So, and I was like, yeah, and a lot of the jokes were about January 6th and just talking about the day and the lockdowns and the Biden administration. And then it ties into like free speech and then a lot of some of my older material too. So it was like a nice way to package it all.
Is there an editor at Uncancelable that like edits it and packages their production team and everything?
It was not edited. I mean, they divided it up into tracks, but they didn't do any sweetening.
No, there was no editing at all. It's just cut seamlessly into tracks. So like when you listen to the album, it's one long set.
Yeah, the Beatles did that. I love that stuff.
I'm just like the Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like John Lennon. John McCarthy. Wait, what's his name? John
Paul
Ringo?
McCartney. John
McCartney Stone.
Ringo something. Yeah.
Ringo Mayr.
Dude, Ringo Stone. What a great band. All right, I go on and on about the Beatles.
I think they're overrated.
Hey,
but at the time, I get why they were impressive to people.
Yeah, at the time, that was like the creation of rock and roll. Like they basically bent the genre and created all these new chords just by putting their fingers on spots. Who's your favorite band right now?
You know, I realized I never had a boy band crush like many girls my age did in like middle school, high school. Like I was aware of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, but I did not simp for them like all my girlfriends at the time did, and like girls my age. I was like really into Metallica. Like I remember I had like my sketchbook and I would draw like the album covers into my sketchbook. I would draw like each member of the band. Like
my dad was a pyrotechnics guy for concerts for a while. He was working at the fire department. He's a lieutenant of the fire department. And
is he hot?
Yeah, he's fine as fuck. He started working out when he was like 35 to do like fireman pull-ups. They don't have competitions to get all and he did a Metallica show and it was like I saw him backstage and he's getting ready to go on, and then he goes on and he's kind of like looks kind of sick backstage, and then he goes on and it's like I think he got possessed by the devil. My dad's not religious at all. My family's not really. He's like, I think that he was possessed by the devil. When he was on stage, he was so amazing. This energy, this charisma. And then as soon as he got off stage and was done, he was shaking and shivering again. And I was like, later in my life, I'm like, well, he's probably on cocaine, like high on coke or something. Like he probably did a huge bump or rip of some sort of drug.
The adrenaline was just
was just whacked out without it or something.
He was able to focus it into performance.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've only experimented with like wine, playing music, and I tried like drinking alcohol and performing, and it's not. I get tired. I didn't mess with coke for performance. I've done weed and alcohol for performance. Weed works a little better. There's like a sustained energy, as long as the smoke doesn't interfere with the vocals.
Okay.
The coke, I can see how it would help, but I never have experimented with it much for that.
Yeah, if you're playing a lot of fast songs. Darkness imprisoning me. James. Ian, where have you traveled? Recommendations.
I went to Paris. That was incredible. Highly recommend a Paris visit. Yeah, do 3 or 4 days in Paris if you can, in the city, in the middle of the city, because the buildings are not that tall. Something about Paris, they didn't try
very hard.
Yeah, they gave up. They were like,
who's going to build a building when we have croissants?
It's like, I guess it was like a pre-steel. The city was built pre-steel, so that 6 stories is like, so you can see the horizon. Like, get like a 4th floor, 5th floor balcony in downtown in Paris.
You feel like Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
It is.
Bonjour. That is like. Everyone's handing you bread.
Yes. Yeah. And the bread and cheese. You go to the corner, the big plaza, and have bread and cheese. And then Paris was very cool. I went to Edinburgh in Scotland. That was really nice. Saw the castle of Edinburgh. The foods are pretty unique in different places. That's about it. I went to Canada, and I've been to Tijuana in Mexico. I think that's my excursions overseas. What about you, Chrissy?
I spent a few days in Paris. Went to Italy. I would love to go back to Italy, especially like to bring Frank there. That's where his people are from.
Oh,
it's beautiful. There's great food. And within Italy, I was in Florence, Rome, Capri, which is an island nearby there. And then went to Ibiza, which is basically Cancun for Eurotrash. Went to like a nude beach there. That was fun. I don't know if I'd go back there, but
how long were you there total?
Not that long. It was like kind of like, it just felt like a couple of days in each city. It was a lot of like running around. I didn't feel like I fully got the full like flavor.
Did you get to Pompeii by any chance?
No.
My parents went there and got pictures. That was like the city that was covered by volcanic ash.
Oh.
There's an eruption, like, I don't know, 300 600 AD, some way long ago, and the entire city was covered with ash and lost. And they didn't even know it existed until more recently. They found it. They're like, what? And they dug under, and there's like people frozen in like position that had been covered by ash.
Wow. It sounds like the Tartarian mud floods.
Yo, it's preserved. What?
You'd be great for a jam commercial. Yo, it's preserved.
Yo, that shit is preserved.
All right,
Screw it off.
I need to get Ian stoned AF on JRE.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, I need to see that. Yeah.
Bill Ottman just went on Jerry with what's his name? Daryl Davis. Who?
I don't know either of those people.
Daryl went and he used to hang out. He's just like black dude, musician. I can't stand using the black and white terms. It's so annoying. But in order to give some perspective of what he would hang out with KKK members. He would like go to the rallies and interact with them, and then he became friends with some of them, and they turned in their robes. They gave up the whole concept of clans. And so he's known for this like anti-de-radicalization. And Bill is the CEO of Minds. Really good friend. I mean, Bill Ottman. You should have him as a guest sometime. He's hilarious and awesome.
Oh, okay.
They both went on road. Ottman. I'll happily put you guys in touch.
Ooh, Mr.
He's
Minds.
badass. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A friendly fellow. William. And that episode looked cool. I caught a couple of minutes of that earlier. Daryl's a magnificent man.
Ooh, okay. I'll check it out. RJ, I'm simping for that Star Wars girl in the chat. Oh, always a friendly simp. Chiropractor, scam or legit medicine? Ooh, I had scoliosis as a child in my youth and would go to a chiropractor like what feels like every week for years. And I think that it cured that. So I was introduced to a lot of like easy listening music too in my time going to the chiropractor, like a lot of time spent in the waiting room listening to like CD 101.9.
So that might have been relaxing you.
A lot of Careless Whispers. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been the music.
Mm-hmm.
I found there's a guy, Ace Thayer, on YouTube. If you look up chiropractor, South SoCal, Ace Thayer, chiropractor, he's the man. And he is pretty explicit, says, I'm not healing you. I'm putting your body in a position, and then you have to do the work to stay in that position to heal yourself.
I like that.
And that's why people, when they come out and they're like, chiropractor's bullshit, it's because they're going in, they're getting put in the position, and then it's too much. It hurts to stay there, and it requires effort. It's like working out. And then they just go back to their old hunch. And then that's undoes the work. He's like, if you move, if you turn your head, you'll undo my work. So stay still. And then if
you have to move at some point, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. You just have discipline in the immediate times after you get the chiropractic, you sit still. He has people like walk straight, not turn their heads. But I thought that was really important to point out that the chiropractor is not doing the healing. You're the one healing yourself. They're just helping you.
Yeah, and sometimes you have one leg or like one hip is off, and it's just like slight adjustments, like take your neck and go.
Oh my gosh.
I was like getting on the bed that would like, and then it would like raise all the way up.
Did you get like one in particular that you remember where?
I went all the time. We had the same guy, Dr. Mazafari. I think he maybe died. He had one of these big stomachs that was like, that looked like it was hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was a drinker or what.
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean. I was kind of sad because like, probably how do you unharden?
Probably isn't the best advertisement for, for practice, but my grandma went to him, my mom, we all went to him.
So did he ever like get your neck and like pull it where like you felt the nerves in your lower back all pull?
Yeah, it all felt good, but I also was like young going, so like nothing really hurt yet anyway.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I went so I wouldn't turn into the hunchback of Rockwell Center. Dan Bannion. Yo, Ian from Springfield, Ohio.
Shout out. What up, Springfield? I want to shout out to Cuyahoga Falls while I'm at it.
Ooh, Simulated Dave. Isn't it disheartening that people don't see the value in the long form podcast over heavily produced corporate media hacks that lack genuine opinions?
I would say it is disheartening, if not for all the people that do realize how awesome long form is. And you see that in evidence of like Rogan. Rogan just lit that format up and out of the stratosphere. So I'm not too disheartened.
Yeah. For me, I don't have anyone to edit.
Yeah, that's why I do it too. I don't
I'm like, this is easier and I can just get it out. And if I mess up, well, too bad.
Yeah, that's part of the mess ups is what make it great and real too. Same with music. Like when I listen to recorded songs, it's where they're like, ha, in the background. And it's like, well, yeah, Cake. Remember, he's like, "Oh yeah, all right." You know, when he's singing in the early days, he'd always be like, "Yeah, all right." And then as the years went on, he stopped doing it. Like he became self-conscious about it. But it's those errors and mistakes and like dirtiness, I think, can make great art.
Yeah, we need the messiness, and it's like if you want to hear something like kind of rehearsed, that's what my stand-up is for. All of that is improvised too. Especially with the crown work. Benjamin the Dream Wizard. Ian and Chrissy, please accept my invitation to share your nocturnal visions on my Dreamscapes program. Love to have each of you on for an interpretation. Whoa.
Thank you for the invite.
Sounds like
you can always message me on Twitter.
Yeah.
The Dream Wizard.
Dream Wizard. That sounds kooky. I'm down. Teague, Materi, Ian, do a deep dive on Jeff Booth. He will change the way you discuss the Fed and the economic system. The TimCast peeps need to discover this dude.
Okay. Thanks.
Jeff Booth.
You're not the first person that's mentioned this guy.
Any relation to John Wilkes?
Oh, yeah. Probably. I think the odds are.
The Booths.
Once a Booth, always a Booth.
What do they call their family? Like when they have a family sign printed out, is it called the Booths? You know? On their family crest? Booths. Yeah.
Their family booths?
Yeah, that sounds funny.
Yeah, I would say the booths. That's what I would say.
The booths.
Or is booth plural like duck? Wait, no, not duck. Geese. Goose. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Sometimes when the word is also plural.
Yep. Gimple. Unashamed Ian Simp. Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Ian Simps. Nico is back. Ian, Amazon driver just ruined your new patio in concrete. Tim tweeted. He is mad.
Whoa. Oh,
really?
That's so annoying.
Is this the one you sent me, Frank?
Oh, no.
Hold the phone. Let's bring this up.
I'm going to survey that in a little bit.
We just got our patio finished and sealed. Amazon driver drove onto the patio in our walkway, ruining it. I'm fucking pissed. This just happened? Wow, this just happened.
I mean, first world problems, but it took 2 weeks for it to set. And we were like on week 1.5 right now. So that's a process.
So concrete. So it's like there's just tire marks on it now, I guess.
Yeah, it was Old Chicken City, which is up on the front of the house. We tore it down and rebuilt a larger chicken town. It was like Chicken Town. And so Tim paved over it a couple weeks ago.
Where's Chicken Town now?
Now it's in the backyard. In that direction from where I'm at. Can you see that direction from where I'm at? Not that helps at all.
Damn.
Amazon. Yeah, it's bigger. It's like 5 times the size or 4 times the size.
Amazon will pay.
Dude, how annoying.
Well, I guess you'll be talking about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Neorot, are either of you familiar with Adam Curry or No Agenda podcast? I think they have a better prediction record than Alex Jones.
I am. Adam Curry does the No Agenda podcast, I'm pretty sure, is what I've been told. Adam Curry, they call him the Podfather. I think he's considered the first podcaster.
Wow.
Officially. I never really thought of it calling it podcasting. I used to make internet videos. I don't really know calling it, whatever you want to call it. But Adam Curry, he's been doing it since like 2004, I think.
Oh, wow.
And he's been on Rogan a few times. They talk about it. He was a big inspiration of Joe's, of why to start.
Interesting. I like the Podfather. What? Sing the Forge, Ian.
Welcome to the Forge. Yeah, that's a good song. Welcome to the Forge. That's an Adam Krigler original.
Ooh.
It's a great song.
Sweet York. If you time traveled back to pre-World War I Germany and had the chance to murder a 3-month-old Hitler, would you do it?
No, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, me neither.
Things turned out okay for me, so I'm not going to mess with the past.
I would wait till if he was 20 and I'd just take him on a really good first date and just, I don't know, see if that would do anything.
I'd be like, if I was your mother, I wish I'd been your mother. Did you see that video that girl made to Putin?
Yes.
Like, had I been your mother.
Or I would just give him a life-changing blowjob.
That would probably change his life.
That would reset the course of humanity.
He's all like in post trench warfare trauma. You'd get him before or after the trench. I think he was like 19 when he was in the trenches.
Okay.
Something like that.
Skeleton Corpse. Much respect to Ian. Cool dude. Keep on doing what you do and rolling them 20s.
Oh, thanks, Corpse. Skeleton Corpse Comics.
Kyle Rose. I hope you had a good pie day. Yeah, it was also steak and blowjob day yesterday.
I did not know that.
So,
well, I hope everyone got their steaks and blows. Did you know the word pie? Well, the 3.14, if you put it in a mirror, it spells out the word pie.
Really?
Yeah, the 4 backwards looks like a P, and the I and the E is the 3. There's pictures of it all over the internet.
I'll look for that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
See what? Similar. Ian, sing The Forge.
I already did. Welcome to the Forge. I'll give you another one. Welcome to the Forge.
Imagine there's just like 10 Forge requests in here.
Yeah.
And last one from Matthew Hammond. When are we going to get Adam Baldwin on TimCast IRL? I always enjoy the TV shows he is in. Chuck is an amazing show. I said Adam Baldwin, not Alec, right?
You did say Adam Baldwin, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know about when guests are coming, really, in general. I don't worry or stress about it much. But I think we had talked about it, bringing Adam on. He's tweeted out some stuff that's right along the vein of what we're talking about. I think he'd be a great guest.
Ooh.
He's a fun actor, too. He'd be really fun to work with.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I think that was all the soups.
Oh.
Ian, my God, what a delight and a pleasure it was to talk to you today. This flew
Always.
by. I can't believe we're like at an hour 50.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
great.
One last question. Fuck, marry, kill. This is for him, Ian. I mean, this is for Ian. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Jack Murphy, Ra the Rugged Man, or Vosh.
Probably fuck the Rugged Man, just to tell him fuck you. Definitely marry Jack Murphy and kill Vosh.
Ooh.
I mean, honestly, I would have married them all if I could have.
Okay.
Yeah. Love those guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, guys. This was fun. Thank you for all your super chats and comments. Oh, gosh. One more from Blue Review. I always thought Ian and Chris Ponyass from Jackass was the same person. Love you guys.
Oh, yeah. Someone else mentioned that, too.
Chris Ponyass? Let me pull that up, Chris.
It's Pontius. Pontias. Yeah.
Oops.
He's the one that always used to get naked or get down to his G-string and dance around.
Yes. Who could forget that? I really loved the new Jackass movie. It was really, really funny.
Yeah, he's got a face like my family, like my dad's side of the family.
How's his forehead? Yep. He's got a
Neanderthal.
forehead. Look at that.
Yeah. Those eyes, that nose. I got to get in touch with this guy someday.
Yeah. You guys got to do a meetup. All right. This was fun, guys. Thank you for all of the...
We got 2 more snuck in.
2 more snuck in.
Yeah.
Our teams. Ian, visit Michigan's with the UP Copper County moniker. Soda like galore. Interesting place. Ooh.
Michigan's with UP.
Well, Soda
Copper
Light is a
Country.
crystal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Soda Light. I've never been in one of those like crystal mines. You ever walk into one of those where it's just you're in a crystal, like a geode or something?
I would love
Be
to be in a
crazy.
geode.
Yeah, dude.
I'd also love to go to like Scottsdale, Arizona, or like there are certain locations on Earth that like have a very special like either it's like magnetism or crystal situation pull.
Like on top of the telluric currents. Have you followed those? There's
No,
an underground current in Earth called the telluric current.
Ooh.
I think that people have said it's underneath the pyramids. Maybe they were built on top of this telluric current, and it's like a low energy that's created. That's like passed underground that you can apparently tap into. I think Tesla is working with it.
I'd like to tap in that.
Yeah, tap it. Yo, we about to tap that
current.
energy. Yeah. Get electrified.
Get electrified. Get weird. Ian, you're the best. I'll
Chrissy.
have to have you back again.
Def.
Where can people follow you, Ian, and check you out?
The best way is iancrossland.net, which is my website, and you can see all my different social media accounts from there. I'm also on like Gab, Minds, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TimCast IRL, 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, including tonight. So come check out the show tonight, and I'll be there.
Yeah, you have to go get ready for it. How
Yes.
much prep time do you take before the show?
An hour, usually an hour, so I can let my hair dry without beating it with a towel.
Okay. All right, go wash your hair.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Wonderful.
Bye, Ian.
See you, Chris. Bye.
Bye.